Hey y'all, welcome. Sprinkle, sprinkle. We are here. So I know it's been a while since I have been live on this channel. It's been back to school. It's been busy, busy, busy. So on my other channel, I have gone live more because I have a lot more promotions to do over there. So thank y'all for being patient over here. So today we're going to be talking about autumn is almost here. Good morning, y'all. I see Joshua, Ashley, Anthony, Cosmic Gal. Thank y'all for being here. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sunny moon. So, Ohana, how are y'all? The great goddess. Yay. So, we're going to be talking about autumn. So, y'all know this is my favorite time of year. And I always get super festive and decorative and all this kind of stuff. And as you can see, I have a bunch of junk on my bed. I'm getting ready to start organizing because most people do spring cleaning. I always do like autumn cleaning. So I always get in the mood to clean during right before autumn, right as summer ends. So if any of y'all have any businesses that have organization products, let me know in the permanent comments because I do read all of those and I'll check y'all out. Okay. Thank y'all. So I already got my spooky season candles because fall, autumn, spooky season, it all goes together. I'm still reading my Anne Rice book. I think I have a few chapters left, The Witching Hour, and it's getting really good. So still doing that. Went to Yankee Candle and got a few items. Ooh, Witch's Brew. This is my favorite, all-time favorite Halloween scent candle. It smells like patchouli. It smells like I don't know, like fresh autumn night. It smells like a witch's like oil cabinet. Like you can smell all the essential oils in there and it's very strong. So I like to burn this. Kind of smells like incense, patchouli, and a little bit of spice, like, you know. So my favorite scent to burn during October is definitely Witch's Brew. And for those of you guys that don't like that type of smell, the Enchantress spell is more of like a love spell type smell. It's like roses, a light perfume. It's really floral and rosy. So if you guys like that better, it just smells more like a love potion. Enchantress spell. Love that. So also got the little mini candles to burn like on my desk when I'm doing some work or like just in the bathroom or something like that. This one is vanilla cupcake. It smells really good, of course, vanilla cupcake. I like because like they come in these little glass jars and so cute just to, you know, pop somewhere real quick. Then I got amber sandalwood. This is really good for like a office or a library, or it kind of smells like, you know, some type of dark academia type scent, the amber sandalwood. I could see like putting that in an office or somewhere with a lot of leather couches and like a little whiskey bar or something. And then this one is so cute. Look at the decoration on it. It's like little leaves, camera. It's called Afternoon Scrapbooking. It smells so good. This also reminds me of like some type of dark academia scent. It smells like books, leather. I don't know. It's not as strong as the amber sandalwood, but it does smell like very dark academia. It's called Afternoon Scrapbooking. So I'm going to have this one on my desk because I do a lot of journaling and writing letters for my Patreons. And speaking to my Patreons, those letters are going out today and tomorrow. So I finally caught up on, because I have a lot of letters to write. I handwrite you guys letters if y'all are on the Patreon, Decoding with the SHERA, or if you're on my SHERA 7 Patreon. You also have a tier to sign up there too. So thank y'all. All right. So we got my autumn candles going. I also make my own candles. That's why I didn't buy a lot of pumpkin scents, because I already made a bunch of like pumpkin cupcake, pumpkin spice candles already on my own. So I'm going to be burning those when you want to smell something a little bit pumpkiny. I already have some that I made way back in July. So thank y'all for being here. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I was out there playing pickleball this morning, and there was a touch of autumn crisp in the air. And I live in hot, humid, Houston. And that's the first time I felt that since I've been going out there every morning. And I was so happy because that means fall is definitely on the way. So I'm also starting to organize my closet and a lot of my wigs. So if y'all have any suggestions, please leave them in the permanent comments. Products, organization tools, da da da. I'm hiring a professional organizer too. And I'm paying them to come and help me organize my closet, my bathroom closet, and cabinets and drawers, and then my room next, because I want it to just be a little bit more put together, because I get a lot of stuff for promo, and it keeps piling up, and I need a system to do giveaways or get rid of it or something. So I think I might start doing a few more giveaways on this channel, and because I have like a pile of stuff that I get sent, and I know some of y'all been my day ones, subscribe to my channel. So I'm gonna see if I could do like a little fall autumn giveaway of a bunch of oils, little stuff like that, little books, journals, all those types of things. So let's see if we can do an autumn giveaway very soon. I'm gonna probably put together like a package, a little autumn care package of all my promo that I want to give away. And maybe I'll do 1 or 2 giveaways on the next video. Sprinkle, sprinkle. And maybe one on the other channel. Okay. Yay. Yeah, I got to hire a professional organizer, because I will give up, or I will say, well, that's good enough. Because I've done it before. But autumn, I get the tinge to clean and organize. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So how have y'all been? It has been a while. Any new things happening? Y'all want to ask any questions? I'm just so happy for fall. I've already started ordering fall decor, because I'm going to redo my parlor in like Southern Gothic, because it's already kind of like a Victorian style. I'm just going to take out all the pink and replace it with like black, white, and gray, so it can look more Southern Gothic. And our theme this year is going to be vampires and witches. So it's inspired by Anne Rice. Our decor is going to be inspired by like Interview with the Vampire and the Mayfair Witches. So since that's what I've been reading and my daughter's been reading, and we've been watching all the Netflix. Well, it's going to be on Netflix now. If y'all haven't had the chance to watch Interview with the Vampire, Interview with the Vampire series, y'all can start watching that. I already saw Coraline, the 3D version, with my daughters, and it was really good. You got to see the 3D version. If it's in the theaters. One of the craziest movies. Okay. Beetlejuice is coming out. Can't wait for that. One of my favorite movies growing up. The original Beetlejuice. This one is the second one. So I'm already preparing for that. I got my spooky blanket someone sent me as a gift, Miss Lisa. It has like this black cat with books and a little candle on it. So I got my spooky season blanket. I'm definitely gonna throw some like spooky pillows on my bed and make it all extra. I'm gonna do a little Southern Goth in here too for, spooky season. Try to adhere my wardrobe to it as well. Yes, the smell of fireplaces, fire pits. Yes, I got to get my fireplace cleaned before, the cool weather hits because it has not been cleaned since last year. So I got to have that cleaned. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay, you said talk about the spiritual occult meaning of Beetlejuice. I'm gonna have to rewatch it because it's been a while since I've seen it, but it's like um, basically where the living and the dead are able to communicate. Their house is haunted. Something weird happened to me last night, me and my daughter. So we were sitting in our parlor and I was talking about all the adulting that I have to do, like all my responsibilities that I have to do this week because I was writing in my planner. And Sasha, she said something like, "Oh, I don't want to be an adult. That sucks." And um, seems like life would be over. And like um, the music box in my window seal just started going off. Like it hadn't been touched. The cats weren't over there. No one was over there. The music box just started going like in this creepy like music box sound. And so Sasha gets up and it's like starts walking away from it. And she says, "What is that? Oh my gosh." And I said, "I don't know. Go see what it is." And she like pulled the curtain back and there was like this snow globe, like unicorn music box sitting in the window because it's out of the way and we just put it in the window sill behind a curtain to hide it because it doesn't match the decor. It's more for like Easter and spring. And so we're trying to put away a lot of the Easter and spring stuff. And it just started going off after sitting there for months. It had been there for months. And so Sasha was like, "Oh my gosh." I said, "Sasha, see, you were talking about like you don't know how you could live doing all those adulting things, and then like the music box started going off. So maybe that's a ghost saying you don't know how lucky you are to have life." you know. Anyway, so then we started pulling up the ghost app on our phone and trying to see what it was or try to communicate with it. So we got some interesting feedback and things like that. So I say you better learn to appreciate life more because there's energies and spirits that would love to be alive again, right? Sprinkle, sprinkle in a physical body. But yes, so Beetlejuice is literally about the living and the dead communicating and working with each other to understand life and death, I guess. I mean, I think you learn on both sides. And I think you can definitely interact with both sides. It's just a different dimension. And yeah, we'll see how part two is. But a lot of people have that gift and they're able to communicate with, the other side. You said my household seems fun to grow up in. It is. I mean, I'm having fun and I'm already grown. I don't know. We make it fun. We make it interesting. Um, so Coraline is kind of the same thing, except not the same thing, but instead of like the living and the dead, it's like the other dimension or the other you, like the movie Us. Um, and the only being that was able to go back and forth was the black cat because it's known that cats are interdimensional travelers. So the Coraline was pretty good, like an alternate universe type reality where mhm, sprinkle, sprinkle, and yeah, like I don't know, like if you're asking me about other people, I don't really keep up with current events, so I don't know, babe. The cat, like if you watch Coraline, the cat is actually one of the saviors in the movie. There's like always a savior character. Well, the black cat is actually one of the saviors. So if you didn't notice the black cat, you didn't watch the movie right. Or you never noticed that the cat was interdimensional. Okay. I don't know which one you were saying. Hmm. Cat was the same cat on both sides. Hmm. Thank you. You saw me in Forever 21 this weekend? Oh my gosh, thank you. Yes, I was meeting my daughter Layla in there. She loves the Hello Kitty stuff. She's like the pink girly girl type, preppy type. And we didn't end up buying anything in there though, but I had a bunch of stuff already from other stores. But hey, Tiffany, sprinkle, sprinkle. He said, why Mando asks, why do they keep dreaming of alternate realities? Maybe you're experiencing them through the dreams. It's like bits and pieces, you know. It's kind of like a little sneak peek into alternate realities. That's kind of cool. Where can you send gifts, Ashley? You mean like for my Amazon wish list? Mm, let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Let me see if I can find my wish list. Because here's my thing, y'all. And I tell y'all I'm about to start cleaning up. I'm only accepting stuff from my wish list at this time, but um, hold on. I'm definitely gonna be taking other things in the next after I get my stuff organized and stuff. So if you want to send me something from my wish list, I'm gonna put it here and also in the permanent comments later. But I'll just stick it right here. Okay. But thank you. Uh-oh, Lissy. You're hesitant about doing magic since you got pregnant, but I'm not sure if I could negatively affect the baby. Any wisdom regarding it? What kind of magic are you doing? Sprinkle, sprinkle. You're doing, what are you doing? How does it make you feel? That's number one, because our vibrations and our frequency affects our child. So however it makes you feel, just consider that. Okay. You said, do I think mental health and spirituality have a connection? I think sometimes people that can't okay, I think sometimes that people that do have mental health issues tend to try to solve them with spirituality, or they tend to try to explain them with spirituality. um, and sometimes they get a little bit obsessive over it, but that can happen to literally anybody. But if you become obsessed over something, that then becomes like a mental issue. So as long as you're not overly obsessed with anything and you're good and you know how to stay grounded and you can learn about spirituality, I don't think like your mental health should be affected unless you start obsessing. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So yeah, because when I was a reader and I performed spells for clients, you could tell the people that were having mental health issues versus the people that were not, just because how they spoke, how obsessed they were, how heavily invested that they were into certain things, and how they react to certain things. So it's kind of like I did not try to diagnose anyone because that's not my profession, but I could just tell the difference. So there's a lot of people that are in need of mental health that maybe can't afford it or don't agree with the type of mental health that they're getting. So they turn to spirituality. And sometimes it helps them. So it's not a bad thing. But I would just say never get overly obsessed with something if you have any mental health issues. Okay. Um, Sprinkle, sprinkle. And here's my thing. If you want to stay at a certain, hold on, I'm trying to open up something. If you want to stay at a certain frequency, and let me write this down because a lot of people need to know this, especially people who are spiritual. if you're trying to stay at a certain frequency, there are certain things spiritually that you should not address if you are trying to stay in a certain frequency. A lot of people that are spiritual tend to worry more than normal people that are not super spiritual. So make sure that you're aware and conscious of what it is that you're thinking about and what you are focused on. If you are, spiritual, just make sure you're also balancing it with something that's going to balance your frequency, like something that makes you happy, something that makes you feel good, something that raises your vibration back up, instead of always thinking about certain things or why things are. Make sure you have a balancing act. So, for example, when I read books, or I'm researching, or I'm doing, some decoding or whatever, I always have something that makes me feel good. I have some nice music playing. I'm in my favorite out like pajamas or lounge outfit or something like that. Maybe sipping on a nice cup of tea or coffee or whatever. And I'm always having myself surrounded in an environment that makes me happy. And if I'm going to read about something or look up something spiritually that may have a little bit of negativity with it, or some type of like issue that would make someone worry, then I already know I'm more balanced because I have all this stuff around me that's making me happy. So make sure you're doing those things as well, because a lot of people just get like start sinking into it too deep. So make sure that you're able to enjoy. Okay. If you're not enjoying it, then you shouldn't be doing it. Mhm. When it stops becoming enjoyable, leave it alone. And then come back to it later when you're in a happier mood or a better mood. Okay. I wish that a lot of people, I don't know if English is everyone's first language, but I wish that a lot of people would literally understand my per, uh, perception. I don't pray to anything. Never have, unless I was forced to as a child. I don't pray to anything, darling. I learn, I understand things, I research things, but I don't pray to anything. I wish people would understand that about me. Do I look like I pray to anything? The closest you could get me to pray to anything, the closest, was when I was Catholic and we would say the Hail Mary, because it's a woman, it's the goddess, and it's the mother energy. That's the closest you can get, baby. But I definitely believe in learning, understanding, and seeing from different perspectives and taking on the characteristics and attributes of certain goddesses if that's what helps you. But I never worship or pray to anything. Sorry. Oh, someone sent me, I don't know if y'all are on this channel or the other channel, but someone sent me a gift from my wish list. That's what I was opening. Miss Sandy, if you're watching, thank you, Miss Sandy. This is a really pretty purple eyeshadow stick. It's very pretty. It's like a pretty jewel tone. It'd be pretty for fall. Jewel tones. Thank you. I don't pray to anything. Sorry. Um, nope. I communicate, but I don't pray. I don't worship. I can communicate, but I don't worship. Because that puts you in a certain position, and my position is not that of a lesser being. So sprinkle, sprinkle. If like I really think about like back in the old days, a lot of people were conditioned to kneel and pray to male figures. Um, that's why they took a lot of the goddesses out of the mainstream religions. Um, and I just don't want to be brainwashed. So I don't worship anything. I just learn, understand, and see from a different perspective when I need to see from a different perspective. Okay. We don't we don't worship and kneel down. Sprinkle, sprinkle. That's not my style. Okay. You said, is there a spiritual reason behind miscarriage? It all depends. I mean, if you really want to think about it, it's literally up to you what you believe that is for you, you know? So if you want to believe it was because it wasn't the right time, or the energy that was getting ready to come through you, or the spirit that was able gonna get ready to come through you did not want to, or change their mind. Um, or you weren't ready, or maybe it's for a better time, or maybe the relationship is not where it should be. I don't know. But I would just think about all those things and what I can improve. And sometimes you just need to change your diet and your health. But I don't know. It's just, I don't think there's a spiritual reason unless you make a spiritual reason. Like I said, people that have want to explain something or deal with something, they usually make up a spiritual reason behind it, and they go with it if it makes them feel better and vibrate on a higher frequency. Because that's what spirituality is. It's to make your spirit vibrate and to understand things through the spiritual perspective. So whatever it means to you. Oh, Kira Cat, sprinkle, sprinkle. Thank you. Okay. You says, did my sprinkle, sprinkle sweatsuit run true to size? Yes, it does. It might be just a tad. It's a tad. It runs a tad large. I wouldn't say very large, but it runs a tad large, if anything, because it's kind of like it's not super fitted. So sprinkle, sprinkle. And you can get them in black, pink, or like cream beige. But thank you. I saw you saw my old video when I talked about the change from goddesses to gods over time. Do you think there will ever be a shift back? No. The reason why is because once, like, it was always the goddess in the beginning anyway. And when you try to suppress something for a long time, it literally springs back with a vengeance. So, literally, it's going to take even longer now to go back to any type of God versus more people, studying and learning about the divine feminine, because it had been suppressed and hidden for so long. So now it's like sprung out, and it's very hard to put something back in that has been oppressed and suppressed for a very long time by, you know, others. So I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. Uh-huh. Can you talk about how you use manifesting any tips? Yes, because I wrote a book on it. Sprinkle, sprinkle. How to manifest with dark cosmic energy. It's in the description bar, and it's on the top link of the live comments. So in this book, I teach y'all how to manifest. I teach y'all the science behind it. I teach y'all, there's some spells in here. So there's a scientific aspect, the layman term aspect, and then there's some charts and graphs, and it tells you how everything works as far as frequency and da da da. There's some couple of spells in the back. Um, some questions that people ask me that I thought would go good in the book. Some stuff about karma and not to accept it if you don't believe in it. Just a lot of things that a lot of people coming out of religion and trying to get into energy and manifesting. A lot of questions you guys would have. If you want to, try your hand in a little bit of spells, there's some in there. Transmutation, alchemy. So the universal laws, different tools that you'd be using if you were to get into this balance. So, yeah. And all these types of things. Teaches you how to word your manifestations, or be conscious and aware of what you're trying to manifest. So definitely pick that up. It's on Amazon. Okay. Yes. Thank you. You still trying to get the hang of a screen mirror? Okay. Do you use do you still have your Facebook group for this channel? No, I don't think I do anymore. I think I temporarily closed it down because I didn't have time to be in there anymore. Yeah, but I do have a Patreon. Uh, it's called Decode with Ashera. Any tips on how to communicate with ancestors? Just start talking. If you have an ancestor altar, you could put some of their favorite stuff up there, maybe some of their favorite drinks or snacks. Maybe light a candle, have a picture of them, and just sit there and start talking. You know, the way that they're going to communicate with you is going to be throughout the day through different things, and you'll feel it because you'll be more aware of, the information that's coming through. Okay. You'll know it. Like you'll definitely know it. And the best season to do that is actually fall because the veil thins. So you'll get more activity and more communication at this time. Like if y'all live in any type of haunted areas, y'all are gonna realize the activity is gonna start picking up. You might become a little bit more psychically aware as the veils thin. I always do this time of year. That's why I start to clean up because that's my way of like making room and making space for some of the energies to come through. I gotta clean up. That's just what I know. I got to clean. So that's why I'm hiring professional organizers, and I started the cleaning process myself too. I got to give away a lot of clothes, a lot of shoes. Oh, okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You live how? What hone your abilities? You live in a very old city. You see a lot in the fall. Yes, I do too. I live in an old city. It's starting to rain right now. Hope it's a cool front. And we have like a lot of old buildings and like the small area of town that I live in. And they preserved it to where you can't really build anything super modern in a certain area. It's like all this old stuff. There's cemeteries and everything. So you can get a lot of activity over there during this time of year. Uh-huh. It's my favorite time. I can't wait. That's why I get all my candles ready, my scented oils. Um, mm, my deliveries are on the way, so I can do my Southern Goth decor for Halloween and fall. My favorite scary movie. I don't have a favorite one because they're not really scary to me. Like movies aren't scary to me, but if you're just asking what, like, I like a lot of comedy scary movies that have like a tinge of comedy in it. Like cheesy. I like cheesy. I like cheesy horror movies, to tell you the truth, because they're funny, they're fun, you can laugh, and the special effects are pretty good. And your kids won't be scared to sleep at night. But so I like stuff like Beetlejuice, Ghostbusters, um, like silly stuff, like Tim Burton type stuff, silly stuff, not super scary. I definitely like vampire movies though. But most scary movies aren't scary to me. They're more scary to kids. So since I have them, they're teenagers now. But oh, thank you for the donation. 3M Fun One. I hope I said that right. Okay, Haunted Mansion is cute. Yeah, I like cheesy, like fun, scary movies. Okay, So, what are your tips for ladies for the fall spirituality things we can do to add to our self and spiritual development? Journal. I would say journal or write or do something creative, like get your creative juices flowing. You could, if you don't like journaling or writing or whatever, you could just get like a bunch of like make scrapbook out of it or do a manifesting journal and do your manifestations. Um, if you like to paint or watercolor, I suggest those things. Maybe start a good book. And spiritually, maybe find a routine that allows you to embrace the fall season at its, finest. So maybe go for a walk in a park when the leaves start changing. Like instead of walking in on a treadmill in a gym, switch to a nice park because it's cooler outside and you can see all the foliage. Um, you know, literally switch your teas out to more autumn flavored teas when you drink your tea or meditate or whatever. I like to put on a fall ambiance in the background when I'm not really doing anything, just to get me in the mood or the spirit, and maybe read books set in the fall or read about ancestors or Dia de los Muertos or, thinning of the veil. Just like let's just be on theme, basically. Be on theme. Make sure all your oils and lotions are on theme. Don't be wearing coconut, tropical scents in, October. Be on theme. That in alignment. A lot of people say, become in alignment. Make your own stuff, and you'll feel more in tune with everything and once you're in alignment. Okay. Yeah. That's what I usually do. I change my whole thing. Like instead of walking somewhere, I'll switch parks where there's more trees, or instead of going to like a treadmill or a gym, I'll go to a nice, beautiful park with a lake and some trees and just put in my earbuds and listen to like some fall ambiance or a fall type video, um, where people are getting all cozy and doing their stuff. And it gives me a lot of inspo. You could look up like spells to do in the fall, watch those videos or listen to the podcast while you walk. Do you have any advice for jealous, narcissistic boss? Yes. Become your own entrepreneur. You don't never have to deal with them again. I always say when you don't like dealing with people that you work with, it's time to work for yourself. I always say that because I don't want to spend the rest of my life figuring out how to deal with people at a work or a job. I just want the money. So I'm going to find a way to get it without dealing with them people. Because if every job you go to, if every day you have a problem with a person, is it really worth it? The amount of time that we figure and into figuring out how to deal with certain people, we could have figured out how to make our own money. The internet is for making money. So I would definitely just ignore them, act like I don't hear them, and call them out every once in a while in a nice, nasty way by asking them questions that they can't tell if it's a compliment or a compliment or a diss, an insult. So try nice nastiness. And don't care about what they think or what they say. And it's easier to do this when you have, backup. So always have a backup plan, a savings, and a little side hustle. So you never have to deal with people that you don't want to deal with for very long. Okay. Just put a book on your desk the next time they walk in that says how to deal with narcissists. That'll help. All you need to do is go to Amazon right now, buy you a book, make sure the title is written really big, how to deal with narcissists, set it right on your desk or have it in a way that your boss can see it, and just leave it there and see if he changes. Like, oh, what are you reading? Oh, just some, just some psychology on how to deal with certain people, and then look at him up and down. Maybe that'll do it, ma'am. Okay. You said you're gonna buy a book and bring it to your next shift. Thank you, girl. That's all you got to do sometimes. Sometimes you don't even have to talk. Okay. Good luck. You said, okay, you want to show that you want to better your business. Okay, do a better business spell. Get you some business oil, better business oil. Let me tell y'all, whenever I want a boost in my business, I have this better business spray that was sent to me by Freya's Enchantments. She's on Etsy. Or I have that, just a regular better business oil you can buy in the botanicas. If I want a boost in my business, all I do is spray that or rub it on. That's literally it. You could do a spell with it, money spell, increase money spell. But all I literally do is put some of that on or spray some of it in my like desk area or my office area. And like boom, I have like a bunch of orders for stuff. It's crazy. So when I want to relax, I don't use it and I don't spray it if I don't want to do, put it in any type of work. But when I want to boost sales or get people attention to buy certain things from like Level Up Cosmetics or something like that, or um, my online occult shop, Dark Realm online occult shop, I'll spray it in the little office or in the area, and then boom, I have like 4 or 5 orders that are very people spent a lot of money. So um, and by the way, whoever ordered like this huge order from Dark Realm online occult shop, thank you. Y'all ordered so much. I appreciate you. Money spells do work fast. Yep. When you're not feeling lack, of course. I have like permanent money spell because when I do it, it's forever. Like one spell that I do is like forever steadily increasing, always more and more. So it's worked. Sometimes you just got to do one with the right words, ma'am. And that's the beauty about sitting down and journaling and thinking and writing your own spells instead of following someone else's spells. Let me tell y'all a secret. Let me tell y'all my secret. Instead of following someone else's spells in a book that don't word stuff as beneficial as it could be worded. So, for example, if they give you some rhyme to say, it's not going to be the same thing as, okay, maybe you'll find $5 in a pocket. It's not going to be the same thing as steadily increasing always, forever, more and more each day on to my next generations and so forth and so on. You can't find that in a book unless someone writes it, you know. And a lot of y'all, when y'all find spells or spell books, you're not thinking about yourself. And when we do spells, it's to benefit us to the highest degree or whatever spell that you're doing. So you need to personalize that stuff to get the best results. I would just use spells that people write as a guideline, but I would definitely always use my own words because I'm going to customize it into my, what I need. Yeah. The words are very important because, you're subconsciously programming yourself as well. You're subconsciously programming your body when you speak those words or when you write those words and read them aloud because our body's made up of water has an imprint, a frequency imprint, and so when you say it, then your body becomes programmed, and your brain and your mind and your subconscious, it starts reacting to it and making it come true in some form or fashion. Let's say you do a money spell and you say the words like I said, like forever, steadily increasing, period, point blank, on to the next generation. That could be the difference between your subconscious mind telling you to walk this way and to walk that way. or to say hi to this person and avoid this person, you know, or to click on something or not to click on something. Like your subconscious mind is now programmed to only go in the direction that's steadily increasing financially. So when you're programming yourself by doing spell work and you're speaking your own words, make sure you understand that. I definitely will always create mine with my own words because that's the best way to do it. Unless you unless you don't think before do things, you got to really have the exact type of words that you need to give you the best result. You can light a candle when you do spells. You can do whatever you need to do. A lot of people do the candle for the energy. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So, we're here. Um, Spell work is the physical work of our manifestations, in my opinion. Yes, true. Um, Thank you. Spell work is the physical work of our manifestation. And yeah, it is, but it's also a programming mechanism as well. So it can work both ways. So for example, if you manifest something, um, that's just manifestation with, thinking your words. When you do a physical spell, what you're doing is you're like hands-on material items. Manifesting means hand, like mana means hand, like manifest, mani. So to put your hands onto the objects that have certain frequencies and have certain symbolic meanings, you're literally programming your mind when you're combining the ingredients together that also have symbolic meanings to your subconscious mind. So it's literally hands-on manifestation, definitely. That's also programming you through the physical. It's the opposite of manifestation, literally. So you're willing it out of the spiritual into the physical. But through the physical, you're programming yourself subconsciously or others in order to manifest that in the physical and the spiritual. So it's just for people that need a little bit extra like representation and hands-on. You know how some people are visual learners, audio learners, hands-on learners. It's kind of like that. Some people need a hands-on, especially if you're practicing herbal magic and tinctures and all that type of stuff. You need the herbs and stuff. You said what percentage of my success is spell work? Well, well, well. I would say the percentage of my success. Well, I would say it's more due to manifestation and the what you guys see. And as far as the financial, that's all James. But all the other stuff that comes with it, of course, the money and stuff like that, that could also be the money spells. But I would say, I wouldn't say 100% because you got to put in some work too. It just doesn't happen overnight. But it kept me on the right track and focused on what I wanted and not caring what other people thought. Okay. Somebody said a man or a bear. A beer. Sprinkle, sprinkle. How long did it take to for me to be successful? I was always successful. I was always successful. I just became more successful. So that's one of the things. I was always successful. I just became more successful. Like when I started this channel, I already had a luxury vehicle. I lived in a nice house. You know, I had a lot of money, started both channels. I already had everything I needed and wanted, which is which gave me the freedom to start a channel. So I was already successful because I married successful. Okay. And when you marry successful, you become more successful because you have the freedom and the time to do so. Hmm. That's why I feel like if you marry successful, you can literally relax and do what you want and then become successful at your own pace, doing what you really like to do, which is another spell a lot of ladies should try, or men. A lot of people should try that spell, financial freedom, in order to embark upon your true passions. And that will probably lead you to more success. Hmm. Okay. Okay, let me help y'all ladies at work. Just go ahead and get this Whole Cosmetics Liquid Finesse. This will make everybody like you and treat you good. Links are in the description bar. Use my code SHERA7. Wear this to work every day. Okay, you won't have no more problem. Not with people anyway. I don't know about your work skills, but with people, you will have no more problem. Go ahead and get that Whole Cosmetics, HEAUX. Use my coupon code SHERA7. There's other ones on there for seduction, lust, platonic relationships, business relationships. But liquid finesse is definitely, you can finesse and get your way, and makes it easier to manipulate people. They have a hard time saying no to you. They're more susceptible to what you're wanting and doing. So go ahead and get that if y'all are having work problems. It works like magic. It's pheromones. Sprinkle, sprinkle. And there's some on there that's even hormones that make like men want to do more things for you and be more generous with you too. So go ahead and get some of that. So it's expensive because it work. Get the small one. Like they have a travel size one too. Get the small one if you want to just test it out. Sometimes they'll send you free samples of other stuff too when you order it. Okay. I would definitely get that because it works. I'm telling you. Yeah, I create my own spells. I don't go by the book. I like to look at books and spells in books to see the structure of the spells, and decode the spells and why it's this and why it's that. And then it helps me to construct my own in the same type of manner. So I do the research. I like to understand why people are doing this and why people are doing that. Is there a spiritual meaning behind it? Is it the elements? Is it balance? Is it alchemy? And then I'll do my own. If you can't figure all of that out, just do your own, and follow like some of the energies, like earth, air, fire, water aspect of it, and then do your own spells. Use your own words. Do it on the days that are most recommended for that type of spell work. And all of that you can find online, just Googling it, or reading a book. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Those elixirs are more for your spiritual being and energetic levels. Yes, my elixirs are more for your spirituality, like spiritual and energetic levels. They're not anything to do with your digestive system. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it, Ashley. Can you manifest something with dark energy to happen tomorrow? Um, if you are really good at manifesting, some people really are good at manifesting, and they can make something happen very quickly. So if you want to try, keep practicing. Like your frequency has to be high. And you really have to have faith in yourself and believe that you can do it. So I would start off with something small to see if I can affect anything, and then graduate to bigger things happening. Okay. That's what I do. Like water. But yes, fall is upon us. I think this is a cool front coming in actually. Where my phone at? Let me check the temperature. It better be getting cool. Because it was like, it's been like 80 degrees at night here, like 80 something. And now I think it dropped to the 70s at night. So that's a good sign. And it was like 79 early this morning. Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yes, it's a cool front. It's going to be 75 degrees tonight, 74. It's like 80 right now. So we are definitely getting into fall in Houston. I know that sounds like summer weather to some of you northerners, but that's a good sign for Texas. It's a good sign for Texas. I felt that little crispness in the air this morning. I was so happy. I was like, oh my goodness. What does it mean when during a conversation someone verbalizes the exact same thoughts you have? It means you're on the same frequency. It's kind of like your phone. If y'all are following the same people or y'all have the same algorithm on your phone, y'all are going to run across the same TikToks and the same reels. That frequency is also in the air, getting to the phones, getting to the computers. So you're literally absorbing the same thoughts, and that's why you're having the same thoughts. That's why all these people are inventing these things to put on your head with the blockers. A lot of this has happened more frequently now that there's more like 5G technology and like wireless technology. This happens a lot more than it used to because you're literally getting the same information that's traveling through the air at the same time. Okay. And, you know, it's kind of cool, but it is scientific. Okay. Some tinfoil hats. Yeah. I think there was a celebrity, I don't know who it was. It was a lady. She came up with a line of like hats and clothing that had like the built-in blocker to block like all the stuff, the 5G and stuff. I forgot her name though. But they have those clothing lines out if you just look them up if you want them. I don't have any, but you know, if somebody wants them. Oh, it was Mia, MIA? Okay. Thank you, Christine and Christy. So yeah, that was Mia, MIA. Can I get your thoughts on guardian angels? I don't believe anything guarding me or guarding me except my higher self. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Um, unless I'm a higher being in a different dimension, hopefully I look good and the same. I think it's just about your higher self, you know? That's what I feel. I don't believe in guardian beings. I believe in higher versions of yourself, higher versions of other selves, you know, our higher beings. Like, you know how they always ask you the question, if you could tell yourself a piece of advice 20 years ago, what would you say to your younger self? I think it's something like that in in a different form. So it's like your higher self or your older self watching out for your younger self. Someone says ancestors. So they're all just a part of your DNA anyway. So it's another part of you guiding another part of you, a higher version of yourself. Because without the ancestor, you wouldn't exist. So literally, you're a part of the ancestor, and the ancestor is part of you. So it's literally your higher self in a form. So I would just say, depending on how you want to look at it, it doesn't matter. As long as you understand that it's always you in some form or fashion. Like if you have kids, you should know this. If you have kids, you'll see yourself in them kids a lot. So, and when they hear a voice telling them what's right, what's wrong, to watch out, it's literally me and their own voice. It's what they learned from me. It's what they got from me. It's what they inherited from me. And it's literally what they're going to tell their kids. So it's literally, we become like, that's why parents have to be good examples, because we become that voice in our kids' heads. We become their higher thinking. Okay. And then, when your grandmother or grandfather, or, when those people pass away, they're on in the next realm, and they go on to become, some people say gods, goddesses, ancestors, da 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 da. So in the old days, people used to pray to several types of gods or ancestors and all that kind of stuff. But I always see it as just like a higher version of yourself, or a part of your extended family, or just your own self in another form, you know. So that's why I really don't get into all of that. If I did, it would only be for research purposes. It doesn't mean I believe in like all that other stuff unless you break down what that means. Psychologically, you can literally break it down psychologically, what aliens are and all this kind of stuff. But if you're not ready to do all that, just know that it's just your higher self and your higher being. Okay. You said, why are you not a sheer star goddess anymore? I am on my, what you call it, my Instagram. I changed it because people kept trying to emulate my channel, and trolls were sending people different stuff from my name as if it was me on this channel. So I went ahead and just changed it up. It's, if you ever see some differences, it's always to deter trolls and weirdos. Oh, Simi Ross, Sprinkle Sprinkle. I'm grateful for your elixir and teaching, moving to phase 5. Okay, great. Thank you. Sprinkle Sprinkle. I appreciate it. Thank you, Simi Ross. Yeah, I had to like, that's why I still put my name up there, but I had to change the channel name because someone created a fake channel and they were using my name, so I just took it out. And the numbers will tell you the truth. So, okay. Does fighting demon means resisting a low frequency? It means resisting lower selves, lower self actions. Yes. So, and not focusing on something more positive. It's also like creating problems when there's no problems. It's also focusing on lesser things that aren't beneficial to you. It's also dealing with, the part of life you're trying to get away from because it's not beneficial to you. So problems, addictions, all those types of things that you want, that you're getting away from. Okay. They can manifest in a spiritual form. They can manifest in a physical appearance, um, through other people and through yourself, because it's a way of you having to face them in order to move forward and advance. So you're going to be confronted so that you can get rid of it. Like right now, I'm being confronted to organize my closet. Okay. If y'all have been on this channel or my other channel, y'all know that closet is like the only thing I can say that I can't conquer until now, because I'm hiring help, period. Okay. I tried to do it by myself. I succeeded like 90%, and then, it relapsed. So when I hire my help, I will defeat that demon. I'm gonna tell them to bring their holy water. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Oh, Maha. What herbs, oils, or rituals can we use to overcome obstacles in life? It seems like it's always hard to get what I want or need. Okay. You shouldn't want anything because want creates more want. You should have everything you already need mentally. Like that's what manifestation is for. You need to write down the things that you want, but instead of saying that you want them, say you already have them and what you're planning to do. And you, you need to use a little bit of fantasy in there by saying, okay, so let's say, for example, you want something nice, like a new perfume. And instead of saying, I want this perfume, you're going to say, or write down, I love the way this alt bold love smells. It's so good. Everyone always compliments me on it. And I definitely love how it smells on. Get you a free sample of it or go test out whatever it is that you're wanting and just act like you already got it, man. And eventually it's going to manifest itself into your life because you're on that same frequency of already having it, enjoying it, smelling like it, or acting like you already have it, planning for it, living like you already own it. So instead of looking at things as obstacles, look at them as if you've already conquered them and you already have them. Okay. Because that's one of the ways that you're going to be able to get it. I promise you. I don't want for nothing because I already say I have everything I want. I already have it. And eventually, like, for example, I wanted a hydrofacial and I was inquiring about the price. And now I'm getting it for free from someone else who's probably a better esthetician. Okay. And a nicer spa. So I literally just said, oh, well, I'll get it soon. I said, I'll get it soon. And I got it for free by a whole nother person in a whole nicer mid spa. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. So just talk it into existence. Mhm. I remember I used to go to, when I was younger, I used to go to like the department stores and I would always get a bunch of samples of, the little tiny perfumes and stuff like that, when I was a teenager. And now I have almost every perfume I've ever wanted, except for like one or two. Um, but of course, I'm probably going to get those too. I have people sending me stuff all the time. And so you can literally manifest it just by acting like you already have it. Oh, send me raw sprinkle, sprinkle. What's an alpha female? I feel like an alpha female is definitely someone who it takes a lot to impress. And they like everything a certain way. They don't deal with anything that's less than meeting their standards. They know what they want and stay out of their way when they're trying to make sure things are the way that they're supposed to be. They can't really hang around other people a lot because people will just see them as mean, rude, or difficult. That's why it takes a certain type of person to be their friend or their partner or man or whatever. Hmm. Yeah, girl, because Sephora will give you a whole sample of luxury items. Like I remember I had like they give you like a good amount too. Like you can get any foundation, any skincare product. You just gotta go in there and ask. They'll do it. Okay. Oh, if y'all like this alt bold love, y'all can use my coupon code as well, SHERA7. If y'all go to the alt website, if y'all want to save a little extra change, SHERA7, all one word. Okay. So autumn is in the air. I'm getting ready to do a lot of manifesting. Okay, so I have this really nice book that I got from the Writing Witch. SHERA, the Writing Witch. She's on YouTube. She does like vlog and stuff for like witchy stuff. So I have like a lot of stuff that I write. I have drawings in here, stickers, um, spells, fast money potion. Oh, we got right here. And so when you have something like this, it also inspires you to write your own spells and do your own magic and stuff like that, because look how aesthetic it is. And yeah, she has an Etsy shop, and it's called The Writing Witch. Y'all need to go check her out. I get a lot of stuff from her, and she's really nice. And if y'all are into Wicca, she has like more Wiccan stuff on her channel as well. And I always have nice pens and things like that to write with, and I get real inspired. I'll watch different movies or shows if I want to get into like a witchy mood, or I'll read some of my books. I have a bunch of books, and then I'll just light a candle, put on some ambiance, and start writing, creating. Put on some witchy oils. This one is called Paranormal. I got this one on Etsy too. It's from Creams from the Crypt. What a name, right? Creams from the Crypt, Paranormal. This smells really good. It smells like roses and like incense. It smells like a haunted house, like, you know, a haunted mansion or something. You smell a little flowers, a little dead flowers, a little incense, a little dampness. It just smells. It's called Paranormal. That's what it smells like. It's nice. I also have one called the Witching Hour. It smells more spicy with like cloves and uh, patchouli and stuff like that from the same store. You'll probably see me haul it on a previous video. I use it. It's just fragrance oil. I use it to moisturize. These are just fragrance oils in the Southern Gothic theme. And they also have little miniature ones that you can get as well. Will it work to healing autoimmune disease if you act like you're healed? I think your frequency definitely has a lot to do with your ability to heal faster or to prevent worsening. So yes, you need to keep your energy levels high. And that means also, like, when people don't realize, when I say keep your energy levels high, let's say you have a high frequency and a high energy, and then you put some bad food or alcohol or something in your mouth, that's going to literally lower the vibration of your body. So you got to make sure you're putting high energy food in your mouth, being around positive people and thinking the way that you want to think, being around all positive stuff. That's not going to bring you down. Yeah. Thank you. Peace. Thank you, Simi Ross. What do you do when we realize attack on our dreams? I really don't think that, like, okay, so if you feel like you're being attacked in your dreams, just knowing is good enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you feel like, okay, well, this is not my normal type of dreaming, this feels like an attack. You know, I always feel like, okay, well, turn off all your internets when you go to sleep. Put your phone in a separate room, you know, because that's where your frequencies are coming from, these phones and stuff. Okay. Think about this. Energy goes to like, if something, let's say something was sent out to you, you believe someone put something on you. The fastest way for it to get to you is through your phone, through your computer anyway. Okay. So if you believe that someone sent it, do they know you online? Do they know your phone number? Do they know your Instagram, your TikTok, whatever? I mean, so turn off your stuff. And I noticed that when I stopped also scrolling right before I go to bed, or when I do something like more like read instead before I go to bed, a lot of that stuff is just a lot of the frequencies in the air going through your phone and through the internet. So just turn it off or read a book before you go to bed. Drink some water, read a book, and go to sleep. Okay. Because a lot of people felt like that, but it was literally just the internet and all the stuff, the frequencies going through the air. When everybody calms down, most people aren't online anymore. You know, a lot of stuff calms down. Read a book before you go to bed, or read something. That is very helpful. Don't read online. Get a book, a real old-fashioned, old school book. All y'all people that be reading books on Kindles and stuff, y'all still getting the internet unless y'all turn the internet off and have the book downloaded. But read an old-fashioned book. And nothing like the smell of the book, the pages in your hand, and using your own imaginations, using your own dreamlike chemistry instead of allowing other things to fill the void. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So when you read a book, you're literally allowing your brain to fill in the blanks with your own imagination, which is how dreams work. But if you're constantly looking at a phone that's telling you what to think, how things look, how things should be, your dreams are going to start to manifest and feel that same thing because it's not even allowed to dream anymore. Like your subconscious mind can't even dream anymore because it's being programmed. So when you start reading a book, it allowed more freedom to be more, you know, your own subconscious mind instead of someone else's. So read a book, read my book, read any book, a story, whatever. You're taking away your own ability to use your imagination, which affects your dreams by being online too much. Hmm. Will you be writing another manifestation book, Shira? Maybe. I have to be in the mood for that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go through all my journals. I'm going to look up a lot of the stuff that I've done that looks like could go in a book or just my tips or whatever. And I might make a book out of it. It might be like a little crafty book with like a little manifestation here, a little craftiness here, some little tips and life guidelines here. It's going to be like a mashup of a bunch of different stuff because I pretty much wrote everything I need to write about manifesting in here. I mean, that's the formula. Okay. Oh, semi-round sprinkle, sprinkle. Like, would I ever write a novel? No. My daughter's a novelist. She's the story writer of the family. My youngest. She's already written so many books. Um, she published one. It's like she's got the talent for fiction and novels. I'm more of the like, you know, life advice, manifesting, all that kind of stuff, giving advice type. What does it mean when someone is chasing you in your dreams? I have so many dreams of someone chasing me, trying to hurt me. Is you're scared of something. You have some type of fear of people or a person or something. You feel like something's catching up to you. So literally, the best thing to do is turn around and face it. If you can lucid dream, the best thing to do is stop running. Because when I was younger, I used to have that same dream. I just stopped running. I was like, I ain't finna. Because I used to make this joke. If you ever see me running down the street, because I don't jog, I walk. But if you ever see me running, run too, because I'm not running from nothing. I'm not jogging. Something is chasing me. But in my dream, I got tired of running, so I just turned around and looked at it and started, you know, kung fu fighting. I don't know. You turn and face it and fight it, man. Because if you keep running, you're gonna be running for the rest of your life. It means turn around and face a problem that you're running from or avoiding, or fear itself. I'm not getting ready to run no more. This is my life. I do what I want. So face the fear, turn around and do what you got to do. Throw a shoe at the head. I don't know. Get creative. It's your imagination. How are you going to just defeat whatever it is that's chasing you? Maybe it just wants to give you something. Maybe you dropped your purse. But you got to figure it out. You said, is hip hop music low vibration or is it based on lyrics? How do you feel about 4 beats? If I listen to anybody, it has to be cerebral. I mean, I listen to stuff for fun too, but that's in a certain setting. But like if I'm going to bed or if I'm listening to something for frequency, I'm going to listen to something that I can learn from and that's positive and highly vibrational. So I'm not going to be listening to like a lot of people that are out today. There's very few. Like I like Lupe Fiasco. I always listen to Lupe Fiasco. Word Genius. Get your mental flowing. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. A lot of artists out today are low vibrational. Yeah. And I don't really care about what the low vibrational artists are doing. It doesn't bother me. I like what I like. And fortunately, we have the ability to choose what we listen to. So just listen to what you like and what good for you. What do you think about vampire magic? Everybody practices it. Some people don't realize it. Some people realize it and they enhance how they use it through learning about it. But some people automatically just use it. Mhm. You said the food most people eat is low vibrational. Yep. And the funny thing is, you can tell. Like if you hang around people that have a different diet or a low vibrational diet, and you have a high vibrational diet, you could totally tell the difference. You look different. You look different. You have a different energy level. So it's definitely you can tell. People who are huge meat eaters have some chaotic energy. Okay. Well, I really don't care who eats meat and who doesn't, but if you put up two people beside each other, you'll be able to tell which one eats the meat. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay. Um, you said vegans can be chaotic too. Well, anybody can choose to be chaotic. That has nothing to do with it. I'm talking about more of a physical and a frequency. Is analyzing birth charts useful? If only if you're getting paid to do it. Sprinkle, sprinkle. That's the only way it's useful for me. So here's my thing. Unless your passion is astrology and you like astrology and it makes you feel good or it makes you feel like you're learning something, then great. Because like astrology is studied a lot. I read it sometimes just to get the information and the knowledge. It doesn't mean I believe in it, you know. It just means that it's interesting. You know, some people will literally base all of their decisions on astrology, and that's fine because some people base their decisions on a lot of things, like if a bird flies this way or that way. So it means whatever you need it to mean for you. Like a lot of people get information through different places. So if it works for you, it works for you. If it's good for you, it's good for you. Like there's so many ways to divine. hmm So it's not our soul blueprint. I don't believe in any of that because if you're from a different solar system, then the placement of the sun, the moon, and the whatever is not going to translate. That's what I always say. But if you're into that, like if you're earthbound, then it may feel and it may be something that you could base a lot of stuff on. But see, okay, so in my book, this is why I'm explaining it this way. So in my book, you have to go beyond the stars. You have to go beyond the solar system mentally. You have to go back way, way back. This is the dark cosmic energy. And so your being becomes much more ancient. Your perspective becomes much more ancient than the current solar system. And so, therefore, to base a lot of things on astrology, it's like kindergarten compared to becoming an ancient form of energy to use that perspective to manifest through. So, that's why I explain it that way. But when I was younger, I thought astrology was interesting. I thought it was fun. I used to like get so many books and read my horoscope all the time and every day until I realized that I create my life and do what I want through a much more ancient perspective outside of this solar system. Um, so yeah, but it is fun and it's like I would compare it to something like, just for fun. I wouldn't make life threatening decisions on it, but I would like say, oh, okay, well that's interesting. I don't knock it. I just don't really use it. Okay. But if you can use it as a tool for whatever you're using it for, great. I know there's a lot of people that write books on astrology. They do people's charts and they make a really good living on that. They make, like, I love zodiac symbols. Like, I think the symbolism is really good. I think the psychology behind it is really good. I really like it. When I decode a lot of stuff, I often use like understand that a lot of people are using astrology and zodiac symbols to represent certain things, or so I like using it as a tool for decoding and understanding things on a deeper level when it comes to wordplay and things like that, or um, like literature or whatever. So a lot of people like to write or create artwork or fiction. They like to put a lot of things into their work so that their work is multidimensional and can make a lot of people see more interests rather than what's on the surface. So if you're like a lot of artists that are really smart and into the occult, they like to put a lot of things that are multidimensional in their songs or in their movies or in their writing. And a lot of times you can decode a lot of the stuff using astrology, numbers, and all that kind of stuff. So I use them as a tool. I don't believe in them. Sprinkle, sprinkle. It's like a decoding. It's like a decoding mechanism. Something to help you understand and figure out what someone else is saying on a multi-dimensional level, but only using it as a tool. Hmm. What's my favorite painting? Adoration of the Magi by Leonardo da Vinci. Yes. It's a painting where there's a bunch of people in a courtyard and there's a church behind like the courtyard. But in the painting, Leonardo da Vinci kind of left the temple, the pagan temple that had been built, like half drawn in and not finished. So that it looks like the church was transitioning back into a pagan temple, or that beneath what the church was painted as was a pagan temple under it. So it was giving lots of multi-dimensional hidden, information. What's the future? What was? What's the past? There's lots of things. If you go look it up, you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, semi-raw, sprinkle, sprinkle. You meditate in the dark and okay, in front of a mirror. You felt like I was melting into the reflection, going higher. Any thoughts? Well, when you do anything like that, if you're by yourself in your brain and your mind, it's going to warp and do all those types of things. That's just, you could do the same thing in a dark room with no mirror, you're just going to start to feel like that. So I feel like once you go into yourself and once you start, you know, taking away the material world and only focusing on the mental, you're going to be able to feel things twist, warp, and like bend, and you're going to start seeing things and all this type of stuff because now you've reached a point where you're like mentally, spiritually still, and everything else is moving around you. I used to do that in the dark when I was a kid. It was fun. Okay. He said, "Sure, I have to share this with you. Every time I join your live and simply watch it, I literally start receiving orders to my Etsy every time. It's so funny. Thank you, Sprinkle Sprinkle. Thank you, girl. I appreciate that. I'm glad you're getting orders. Uh-oh, Dee Dee, Sprinkle Sprinkle. Hi, I've seen your decoding videos and I love them. This prophet said there will be another pandemic in 7 months. How do you decode anything? If they make one, Sprinkle Sprinkle. So whether the prophet is a prophet or he's just a warning or he's just saying they're going to make one, it just all depends. I never believe people that say that they're a prophet. But what I do believe is that people can create what they want, depending on if they need some money, if they need people to learn a certain thing, if they need to do some things. Because I believe like if they create it, yeah. But if they don't, then they don't. I mean, you've gone so many decades and years without quote unquote whatever, and all of a sudden it's created, and then all of a sudden it goes everywhere. And if they create it, if that's what they want to do, I mean, whatever. But I don't think they should or they would if everybody thinks it's fake. See, we also have the power to not believe in certain things, and we give it less power the less we believe in it. So, for example, if our frequency is high and something happens and we don't believe it, our frequency is going to stay high, and so we're less susceptible to it anyway. Okay, so it's like fake news, whatever. Okay, Joshua, Sprinkle Sprinkle, you said she inspired me to make an Etsy and I made 60 sales so far. Okay, Joshua, keep going. What's your Etsy store? Sprinkle Sprinkle. Okay, Zero, cool. Thank you for everything you do. I feel like I am having trouble going to the next level. Any advice for manifesting the next level? Stop thinking of everything as having to get there and visualize the top and work your way down. Sprinkle, sprinkle. There you go. That's what this book is for, ma'am. Go all the way to the top and work your way back to where you are now. And you ain't got nowhere else to go but up after that because you already know it's possible. So this is one of my tricks. If you can't see past an obstacle, see as if you've already accomplished it and you've already moved past it times 20. And now you work your way backwards so you can see how you got there. Okay. It's like, okay, well, that's what I did like literally a couple of years ago. I said, okay, there's an obstacle in my way, but I know I already passed it. So let me go see to my higher self, my future self, how I did it. And now I'm here, getting ready to do it again. Okay. So therefore, take it from the top, literally. Take that you've already made it and see how you got there. Use your imagination. That's what it's for. If you can't figure out how to get around an obstacle, use your imagination as how you would get around it and get to the top and then work your way backwards. Have your higher self come back and get you, ma'am. That's why a lot of people don't realize. That's why if you believe in your higher self, it's easier to do stuff because you can trust yourself. You're not scared of yourself. You know, you're not weary of different intentions or if you're being punished or if you deserve something for, or some type of karma or not. You're not worried about any of that when it's your higher self. You just go come back and get you and show you the way, right? So this is why I don't worship, pray, or believe in any type of quote unquote deity except the higher self, because you don't fear the higher self. You understand the higher self. You trust the higher self. You're going to come back and get yourself and put yourself on the correct path that you need to be on, period. You're not going to feel sorry for yourself. You're not going to, feel like you can't accept yourself, because it's easier to accept yourself than to hope and pray someone accepts you. So this is like one of the biggest tricks that people put on people. They took away their higher selves and gave them a God. So put yourself back in the goddess or God position and get to where you need to go. Because if you trust yourself, know thyself, ye are gods, then you're not going to be worried about it. Just go ahead and do what you got to do. I'm not getting ready to do none of that. I'm not going to be distracted from who I am and who I will be and who I've always been. That's for other people who haven't figured it out yet. That's why a lot of times before before you get into any type of spirituality, always understand that your higher self is the only one that's going to get you to where you need to go. You can study everything else, learn everything else, decode everything else. But remember, it's you. It's always you. Okay. You said there must be a leader or healer in your ancestors. Yeah, me. That's what it is. Just another part of me. You said when you go to your higher self, do you ask or tell yourself? Well, when you talk to yourself, how do you talk to yourself? Like if you got to get something done, what do you tell yourself? Oh, I got to get that done. Oh, I don't want to forget this. I don't want to forget that. Let me go ahead and do it. You talk to yourself like you're like just normal. That's why most people trust themselves, because it's not some type of formal fancy way of addressing your higher self. It's just yourself. You say you talk like you're your own best friend. Uh-huh. There's not a formal way to talk to yourself. You just say what you got to say and do what you got to do. You said how to accept yourself as beautiful when you have insecurities. Um, well, if you accept yourself as beautiful, then you won't have the insecurities. So get rid of the insecurity first, and then you be able to accept yourself as beautiful. There you go. Be your own best friend. Exactly. There are people, not me, who don't even accept or believe in themselves or their higher selves, seem disconnected. Well, they haven't gotten there yet, or maybe they don't have a reason to think that way yet. Okay. You said, what about pimples? Girl, go to the dermatologist or change your diet up or do some research. There you go. What are steps you can suggest for one who is insecure to do? Get rid of insecurity. It doesn't benefit you at all. Okay. So think about this. Think about this. I'm gonna put this in money terms. If you were a boss and you had some employees, one was called confidence, that's their name. One was called, you know, research. One was called self-esteem. One was called self-love, and one was called insecurity. Now, all these other people are bringing in money, but insecurity is losing money. You got to fire insecurity because it's not beneficial to your company. You get it? So or you got to improve. You got to watch self-love. You got to watch confidence, and you got to watch, you know, all the other people that are bringing in money and see what they're doing. You see, and then you got to learn from them, because ain't nobody got time for insecurity. So they're going to fire it. It's not making no money. Think of it like business and you will always succeed. If your insecurity ain't getting you no money, then lose it, ma'am. Focus on self-esteem and self-love and all the things that are going to bring what you need to you. Glow up, level up, do whatever you got to do. Don't listen to people that tell you anything different. Hang up the phone or tune them out, because they're not making you no type of money. They're not getting you to that next level. They're not helping you at all. So fire insecurity. Yes, we're excited for Halloween, autumn, fall, all that good stuff. Warm beverages instead of ice cold beverages. Next time, if it's a little cooler, I'm gonna have my little teacup. Uh-oh, Brittany. Thank you, Miss Brittany. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Do I consciously talk to my higher self, or I don't do anything formal. I just know. That's like, to talk to my higher self, I don't do nothing formal. I just already know. What would my better self do? What would my higher self do? You know what I'm saying? What is the best version of myself? What would they do? What would they say to me? So the highest version of myself is someone that doesn't procrastinate, doesn't do this, doesn't do that, gets stuff done. So I followed that. There's no formal way. Just your higher self is the one that makes the best decisions to keep you on track to your highest potential. Highest self is at the highest potential. Highest potential, highest self. Okay. You said, how do you love yourself without makeup and wigs and lashes? Well, think about a painting. A painting is nothing without a canvas. There's nowhere to paint. There's nothing to inspire the artwork. There's no blank space to create. So think of it like that. Put on the makeup and the wigs if that's what helps you look beautiful. Think of your face as a canvas that allows you to create artwork. Okay. Oh, cat, talk about getting deep. I don't know, because let me tell you something. If they feeling that way, then I know they're feeling the other thing. You know what I'm saying? Like if I would feel that way about a man, I know they feeling 10 times better. So whatever I'm putting on them is way more powerful. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So I can't even imagine what they feeling. And I'm so busy thinking about myself, I'm not even DIC-matized no more. Because guess what? I can't even imagine what they're feeling times 10. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Feel sorry for them. That's all I know. I'm getting all my wish lists in order. Trying to figure out what I'm gonna ask for. So no, yeah, we don't get that way. They get that way over us. And if they don't, then I can't even acknowledge the feeling. You see, your the way that you think, you are able to control it. Definitely. Hmm. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. Okay, your grandma told you to wash your face 3 times a day, morning, noon, and night. Apply a light, non-greasy formula after the cleanser. Should be natural soap cured my terrible acne. Okay, Jenny, thank you for sharing what your grandma told you. I'm sure a lot of people may need that info. Sprinkle, sprinkle. All right, y'all. If y'all see something like on my bed, I'm organizing right now. Those are some of my wigs. Those are about 1/4 of my wigs. That pile you see. I really want to get those little cute little bags that you put your wigs in that hang up, or some type of drawer to organize them all in. So I'm working on that. I'll probably order some stuff from Amazon to store my wigs. I gotta look up wig storage and see what I can figure out. Because I have a lot. How do you know if you were born a witch and called to a specific type of craft, i.e., moon witch, cosmic, whatever you choose and are most drawn to? Whatever you're choosing and most drawn to. You know what I'm saying? And I think everybody is born with free will, and it's just your belief or your amount of fear or fear of judgment why certain people go to certain paths. Religion doesn't work for you if it's like laughable from the beginning and you just not feeling it and you think everybody else is crazy for believing it. You could just be uh, born with a more wise spirit and start to see things for what they are. Like the only thing about religion is that people take it literally when it is not meant to be taken literally. And that's the main thing that deters me away from religion or religious people because they don't understand their own religion and they take it literally and it makes them look stupid and dumb. So I can't be around those type of people because I'll get annoyed too easily. So I have to go do my own research. But if you're drawn to being a witch, you're drawn to something that probably you want to make more sense out of and to figure it out for yourself. You're more of an independent thinker. Oh, pretty pancakes, sprinkle, sprinkle. Learn something every time I watch. Yes. Thank you, girl. Sprinkle, sprinkle for the donation. Yeah, I can't hang around religious people that believe in it literally, because that just telling me your IQ is way lower than mine and we ain't gonna have nothing in common or to talk about. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. I couldn't do it. I'm like, you know what? You go over there and believe all the stuff you want. But then they laugh at you when you say you believe in magic and aliens and all this kind of stuff, even though a lot of that stuff is also metaphor. I mean, it's literally the same thing. So if it's not, if it don't make sense, then I'm not, if it doesn't make sense or I can't decode it and you're taking it literal, like literally people will fight wars over literal meanings of stuff that's not meant to be literal. So that's why I think it's really not something that I could be a part of. It's too, they don't teach you enough and they let you go believing that something is literal when it's not. And I think it's also a way to keep people dumbed down and from thinking for themselves. So I couldn't be a part of it. Like if y'all want to dumb people down that much, great. But I'm not one of them people. So I guess I'm supposed to rise to the top. Okay. Yeah. If you notice, now I'm just going to put this out there. If you notice, more people who understand the occult, who understand certain knowledge, how to decode stuff, they are more successful than people that take religion literally. I'm not going to say religious people aren't successful. I'm just trying to say the people that haven't figured it out, that keep taking religious literally or religion literally, they don't get too far. But you get the higher ups in religion, they understand that it's all metaphor and code, and they know how to decode it and use it to their advantage and to keep other people at a certain level. So they look successful. And so people that believe the same religion but don't know how to decode it or understand it will literally say, see, you can be successful and be this religion and be that religion. But the one thing that's missing is the literal versus the metaphor. That's the obstacle in a lot of religious people's way, is that they can't figure out that it's metaphor. Once you figure out that it's all metaphor and you take that next step to the highest level, you're going to be able to see 10 times more than you could see with any religion. And that most of the religion that you study has been regurgitated many, many times in different cultures, in different words, with different beings. So you're going to start to see it all crumble, and that your specific religion and culture was given to you in order to control you or for you to figure out that it was all metaphor and that everybody typically believes the same thing. Okay? So it keeps you trapped, then it frees you, and then it disintegrates and disappears, and then there's only you. Okay? It's only one you. After you learn it, you're controlled by it, you decode it, you figure it out. You see it everywhere. Everything is the same exact message, even in movies. Now you feel like, okay, now it's just me. It's only one me. Okay. That's why they call Neo the one, and it's spelled Neo, and it's an anagram for the one, because it's only one you after you realize everything was fake, what they taught, and stop taking stuff so literally. Yes. They rise above it because they have to. A lot of people are forced to rise above it because their lack of knowledge holds them back. Their lack of the occult knowledge sometimes invokes fear in them when they're dealing with other people. And so they have to rush to learn stuff and not be afraid of it. Mm-hmm. You say it's like ancient Egyptian codes are taken literally and not metaphysically, like metaphorically. Yes. Like that's another reason why they write stuff in parables. and poetry, and how ancient Egyptians wrote in spells, a lot of spells, because it wasn't to be taken literally. It's supposed to be taken a whole nother way. Mhm. You said, what was the line at which you distanced yourself from believing in the Bible? When I started to decode it and see it everywhere else prior to the Bible. You know, the Bible was rewritten so many times, and it also was is a plagiarism of all pagan religions before it. So why would I believe in a book that just copied pasted? Okay, because it was copy and pasted, ma'am. So I stopped believing in the copy and paste because I've seen it so many times regurgitated throughout ancient history prior to the Bible. Okay, it's kind of like doing a forensics research of the Bible. Like you're going to see that this is not the original information, and that it was just taken bits and pieces from here and there, and da 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 da. So I don't feel like I think the age that I was decoding the Bible was probably when I started learning about more ancient cultures. So I'll say like late teens, early 20s. I never really believed in the Bible anyway because I knew it was all metaphor. But when I started to learn how to decode it, that's when I really understood that it was all metaphor and taken from different stories from ancient pagan religions. Hmm. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You said, do I have a conscience? A conscience? I think everyone does. I think all human beings do. Okay. Hmm. I don't use the Bible in my spell work. I'm original. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I'm an original. I use my words. Mm-mm. But a lot of people do because, like, if you practice hoodoo, okay, so different forms of magic use different tools, different books. So all they like back in the old days, if you were you all you had was what you had. Okay. So if you practice hoodoo and folk magic and stuff like that, and the only book you had was the Bible, you're gonna find stuff in there to use to your advantage. If that's the only book you were allowed to read growing up, if that's the only book that you could look at and study, you're gonna start to find stuff in there that's gonna help you do your magic. You know what I'm saying? So people just use what they had back then. They figured out that it was metaphor from ancient cultures and history, and they picked and chose what they wanted to represent in their spell work or their hoodoo. Then go for it. Okay. Like I said, once you decode all of it, it's all gonna tell you that you're the creator and that you create the life you want. No matter what religion you go through, it's all gonna go back to you. Mhm. Um, she sells the writing witch Etsy, the writing witch on Etsy. She sells like you can even customize a book if you like message her. She'll custom a book for you. I had this custom made, so it has a little time limit. So she already has some for sale on her site, but you can also have one custom made if you guys go back and forth. If she is still doing custom, okay. Hmm. Do you recommend any books to learn how to socialize? Um, no, I just recommend some alcohol. Girl, have 2 shots of tequila and go out. Go out, have 2 shots of tequila. You'll be very social. Maybe 3 shots if you need it. You don't need no book. Just get you some drinks. I've never been more social until I started drinking. Everybody, my best friend. Okay. Don't drink too much though. You said drinking helps you come out of your shell a bit for sure. Yeah. Sometimes the answer is simple. Hmm. I don't drink a lot. Like I rarely drink on special occasions, like or whenever, like maybe once a month at the most, and barely anything. Like a couple of drinks once a month, maybe twice if it's a active month. But that's it. Like once. If I'm doing something, it's more social. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. How did I get so smart about men? I'm married. I mean, if you've been with a man for over 20 years every day, you learn a thing or two about men through their friends, through their family, through other people, through your man, through your all the family members' men, through all your prior men, um, through a lot. Also, I used to do a lot of consultations with other women, so I got to learn through their perspective of how men were. And also, I've witnessed those types of men in relationships with other women. So it's literally just experience and other people that also are going through it that share with me. And, we help solve their issues together and we get the same reactions. And then we go back and forth to, see what we could do about that reaction. So it's kind of like you're going through it with a lot of people when, like, especially when you do consultations. I mean, if you think about it, this is how they study psychology. This is how they study behavioral psychology. They have to go back and forth with people, subjects, patients, do research, analyze the people that are around them, do all those types of things. So that's literally what I've just been doing for a long time. Yeah, this is my spiritual channel. How y'all doing? Make a video on a job interview spell to make them see. That would be counterproductive for me. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it, but I tend to not want to put stuff like that on my channel because I promote entrepreneurship and owning your own. That way you call more shots and you're closer to being your highest self or your higher self and able to manifest way better because you don't really have a boss. So I really wouldn't want a job. I would want a way to get paid without having a boss. Um, I don't want to put that on my channel, but I'm sure there are many channels that have get a job spells or better business spells. Like I would do a better business spell all day because I own businesses. But I don't believe in, it's kind of like the pick me of I need a job. Okay. I'm not making fun of you. I'm just saying I don't want that energy on my channel. So I would do a better business, get money, or a you know spell like that. But I can't put that on there because I promote entrepreneurship and things like that. So we got to be a boss. We can't keep hopping job to job. That's it's not freedom. Okay. Make better business lives. Yes. Get you some better business oil. Get you a blue candle or green candle. Write the name of your business. Then sit there, light your candle, and imagine all the avenues and the ways that you can promote your business, that people can use your business, that why people want your business, how many people are talking good about your business and spreading word of mouth advertisement. How you sit there and get in the frequency of being successful and all the ideas and ways that it can come through. And then when you get up and your spell is finished, you know, um, you're going to be subconsciously programmed at that point to actually make it happen. Okay. I suppose you could do the same thing with getting a job, but like literally you're competing with other people and you're only supposed to be competing with yourself. Okay. So, how do you think women who are pick me, how can we realize, see light, and see we are, huh? If they are a sibling, they have to see their own light. Nobody can tell you. If you lead by example and they see and compare their lives to yours, they'll understand. And when they ask you, then you tell them. But you never volunteer free information because nobody wants nothing for free because it's not valuable until they need it. So, for example, you can't force somebody to become something when they're not ready. They got to be ready. They got to understand. They got to get the experience. And then once they're ready, there ain't no stopping them. Thank you. Do you feel like your magic is more powerful in the fall? It's powerful always. But I feel like I'm more inspired during the fall because I like cooler weather. And a lot of the stuff that goes with the fall is very creative and nostalgic to me and fun. And it has a lot to do with a lot of the stuff that I like and are interested in. So that's probably why. hmm So, gratitude, sprinkle, sprinkle. But I do have to clean and declutter this fall because that's when I do my cleaning. Like I don't do the spring cleaning. I do the fall cleaning. Um, I don't work with any gods or goddesses. I just read and learn about them, but I don't work with any of them. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I learn from them, like their aspects, what they stand for, what they're symbolic for, and stuff like that. But I don't really work with them. Oh, Siren Sin, Sprinkle Sprinkle. Hi, Shira. Would you ever consider a pregnancy series on this channel? No, because I'm not pregnant. If I was, perhaps, but I don't feel like doing a pregnancy series is beneficial for this channel or me because I'm not pregnant. So I'm sorry. I didn't had all my kids, ma'am. He said, can you do a spell to bind yourself to wealth? You sure can. Are there parts of the Bible that you believe to be true? I believe that there are a lot of metaphor in the Bible, and if you could properly decode it, you could see a lot of truth in it because it's already been written prior to it in many different forms throughout the ages in more ancient cultures. So you can't believe in something that's already been written before as um, one truth because it's been taken from other stuff. Just like when you see a quote and it sounds really good and it came from someone modern. I guarantee you can find that same quote if you go back to the ancient days or like 50 years prior from someone else. So that's what I'm saying. I believe that the information, if not taken literally, can be beneficial, but it's never going to be truth because truth is perspective. So, for example, back in the old days, if you were taking the Bible literally and you were a slave and it says slaves obey your master or you're going to go to hell, then guess what? There's a difference between metaphor and taking something literal. Also, you have to think about the timeline in which it was rewritten. And they have rewritten the Bible so many times to go with modern time that you can't even take it at face value anymore because they keep changing it to be politically correct, or they keep changing it to move forward with the time, or they keep changing it so you can understand the metaphor better. And they keep changing it and they keep changing it. So where do you find the truth in a book that is continuously changing? You find it in the original text, in the original place that it came from, the first written languages. Oh, semi raw, sprinkle, sprinkle. Will we get a decoding book based on how you do it? No, sprinkle, sprinkle. Because thank you for the donation, though, but you won't get a decoding book from me because there's too many ways to decode. The reason why is because people will sit there and argue about how to interpret something, which they do in history a lot. There's different interpretations of things. So it's more of a spiritual journey if you learn how to decode on your own. But what you can do is symbols are universal, but sometimes they vary by culture. So if you realize, if you just take the tools or the symbols and go from there, you can pretty much decode anything. Okay, symbols, symbolic meanings of things, and then you can do your own interpretation of it. Uh-huh. Thank you, Sprinkle Sprinkle. Can you tell me your opinion on having an altar for my ancestors? You can do whatever you want. Like, I'm serious. My opinion is if it makes you happy, if it makes you vibrate on the level that you want to vibrate at, do it. It's your life. That's all I'm saying. Do what makes you happy. Do it lifts your frequency. Do what is beneficial to you. You don't need permission from anybody to do what you want. Okay. You said, am I doing any spells at the moment? No. Pretty much when I do spells, they literally are to take care of everything forever. Because I'm lazy. All right. I'm like, look, let me go ahead and do this one spell that's going to cover me forever and future generations. I'm good. That's why I don't have to continuously do any spells because when I do it right the first time, or the second time if I need to reword it or revise it. But definitely, if you're going to do spell work, do it one time and get it done and be done. You know, that's why I think the older you get, the wiser you get, the better you'll know how to word your spells to last forever or as long as you need them to. Okay. Um, You said, is God evil? If you believe in that God is evil, then he is to you. The patriarchal version of the monotheistic God, is that evil? I think it's evil towards women, but in general, the masculine energy is not evil. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I mean, if you're going biblically, it seems like the Bible is not too fond of women in the beginning. And it's written from a patriarchal perspective. So I don't know. That's why I don't worship that God of the Bible that has been rewritten several times, 100 times probably. Okay. You think monotheism makes men evil towards men too? Yeah, it makes people evil towards each other because it's literally patriarchal. Oh, Katrina, sprinkle, sprinkle. Fun decoding question. Nature is changing me. First is butterflies, now June bugs. I know they mean transform, but dang, it's a lot. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay, first of all, it's summertime. So all those bugs are going to be about anyway. That's their thriving season. So that makes sense. But at the same time, if you're constantly decoding things, everything's going to mean something to you, you know? That's why you got to have a boundary and a grounding method. So maybe take a couple of days where you're not decoding things or seeing everything. I know it's hard when you first start or when you're used to it. But just take a day just to have some regular old superficial, fun. Oh, thank you, Goddess Well Read. Said 20 months of awesome knowledge and information. Thank you, Miss Goddess Well Read. You've been here 20 months. Wow. It's almost 2 years. Thank you for the super sticker. Yeah. I remember when I used to be like really into the decoding stuff, and I still am, but I don't decode everything anymore. I would literally be walking and whatever I see, like I'm like, okay, what does this mean? What does that mean? My phone search history must look crazy because like if I see a caterpillar on the floor, on the ground, I'm like, well, research caterpillar. What does that mean? Okay, uh, um, okay, I see a billboard with this on it. Okay, I'm gonna research that. But it's a good way to show that how aware your senses are and that you're really understanding that, how the universe speaks to you. But you don't always have to listen. Like you don't always have to be tuned in on that frequency so much. You could turn it on and turn it off when you choose. So when you get to that level where you can turn it on and turn it off, when there's something that you want to tune into, turn it up, turn it on. When you just want to do what you got to do and not be paying attention to it, turn it down. And that's when you get enough knowledge to be able to understand it, know what it is, ignore it, and use it only when you want to or need to. Hmm. You said goddesses don't worship no gods, but can I say, do use the spirit of God to guide us? I use the Bible a lot of protection chants. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. Yes, a lot of people that grew up Christian and in the Bible, they go back and forth. And that's understandable because that's what your culture is. That's what you were raised at. That's what you were subconsciously programmed with. So it's okay to incorporate. That's what they did with all the holidays in the Christian religion. They incorporated the old pagan holidays into the Christian religion because people did not want to let it go. And it's the same thing when you use the Bible and religion in your spiritual practices or in your occult practices. So it doesn't matter. Like it's all going to melt back anyway. Like the painting I was talking about earlier, Adoration of the Magi. It's all going to go and melt into each other anyway, because the world has been subconsciously programmed with occult knowledge, pagan knowledge, religious knowledge, that it's all just going to melt into one. And people are literally just going to wake up and just start choosing themselves. I mean, think about this. Now that we have AI, what does AI think of religion? Does AI believe that there's a God or there's a Bible? If you think about it, AI's God is us, humans. So if you really want to think about something, if you have AI rewrite the Bible, you think it's going to be the same? Because if that's what it literally is. It's a lot of people think that the Bible was written by God or inspired by God. AI was written by man and inspired by man. So if AI wrote the Bible, what are we going to get? Like if they write another version of the Bible, what are you going to get out of it? Are they going to make it make sense? Are they going to label it as a work of fiction if you allow them to label it fiction or nonfiction? How would they label it? So it's all mixed up. It's all mashed up. People tend to gravitate toward what makes them feel comfortable and less fear and more, calm about something. And that's okay. It don't matter to me. As long as you understand it all goes back to just yourself. Okay. Hmm. So how do you donate? Oh, you can donate to my Cash App if you can't do it through the channel. There go my Cash App. Thank you. I appreciate it. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Uh-oh, grab your fall picks. Where's this at? Hmm. You said, why don't I work with goddess? No, I study goddesses. I learn from them because I am a goddess. So let me ask you a question. Do goddesses worship or work with other goddesses? Only as equals. You said, have I manifested a special person? What do you mean a special person? I am a special person. um, Perhaps y'all don't realize I'm already married. What what you ever consider doing live one-on-one mentoring? No, I used to do consultations, but it's not something that I would do anymore. I'm not going to say ever, but not something that I want to be doing right now because I'm just literally giving the same exact information as I do. The closest thing you're going to get to it is joining my Patreon and writing me in the messenger section on my Patreon, and I could write you back. Hmm. Right. Have you ever had any insecurities growing up? I mean, I think most kids have a few things, but like I was so busy doing other stuff, I didn't really pay attention to them and I didn't care about any type of insecurities because I was so, like I grew up in the 80s. Okay. So I was outside playing, riding bikes, exploring forests and fields, like all the stuff you see in the 80s movies. Empty houses, going camping. Like I was an 80s kid. We didn't have time for insecurity. We was too busy. It's not like it is today on the internet. We didn't sit up all day on the internet and compare ourselves to other people. We actually lived life. So the only time I would ever feel like I was insecure is when I slowed down enough to stop having fun, to realize and understand that the world isn't how it should be, but oh well, I'm going to make it work for me. You know, I feel like if you were an 80s kid, you were having too much fun to and too busy to be worried about some type of insecurities. So unless people like were literally making fun of you for something, then no, most 80s kid did not care about no insecurities. Okay. I think people are hyper focused on flaws now because of the internet. Oh, Semi Ross, sprinkle, sprinkle. For other channel. Okay, thank you, girl. Got gifted hugely because of me. Okay, ma'am. Yes. Get your money, ma'am. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You said 90s childhood was also amazing. Yeah. So, I can understand why people would be insecure now, but I couldn't figure out how to be insecure. I was too busy having fun. Oh, Mirren, sprinkle, sprinkle. Thank you, girl. You said, I think I matured. You think I matured at an early age? That sounds like me. Yeah. Well, I think it's because I was like a nerd and a middle child, and I was very independent. So I did a lot of reading and I had fun. And I was very creative. So I just kind of even as a kid, I molded my life and my world to what I wanted it to be. And I was very imaginative about it. So I didn't care what other people thought. As long as I was happy, that was all that mattered. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. I was always like that. You said TikTok will subconsciously affect your self-esteem. Be careful. Yeah, I prefer Instagram to TikTok, even though I do have a TikTok now, finally. The vibe is different. The vibration on the is different. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Striving for perfection also makes you feel insecure. But see, this is what I always tell people. That's true. Striving for perfection makes you feel insecure. That's why you are already perfect and you're striving for something else. You see, that's what I do. I already deemed myself perfect. And so now I don't have to strive for perfection. I strive for money. I strive for knowledge. I strive for this. I strive for that because I'm already perfect. So deem yourself perfect already and strive for other things. And that's how you get success. Y'all out here, y'all are out here striving to be something you'll physically. Let me tell y'all a secret. All the ladies who are perfect, they got money. That's how they got perfect, man. They strive for success first. Then they got all that stuff done or whatever. So, but in their mind, they were already perfect. They just did what they thought needed to be tweaked. But you're already perfect. Strive for some money. Strive for some freedom. Strive for some knowledge. Do you recommend working with deities? Which ones? Yourself. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Work with yourself, ma'am. If you find a deity that reminds you of yourself or have the characteristics that you would like to emulate or imitate, study those. Okay. Study, like, think about celebrities as deities. Now, if you were trying to get into acting, which celebrities would you study? If you were trying to get into the music industry, which celebrities would you study? That's how you look at deities. Study them. Don't worship them. Use them as a compass so far as an example, qualities. You don't worship them. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You said tips on staying focused to achieve a quantum leap in higher frequency. Read. Read something that's of great interest to you until you feel that quantum leap. Like, let me show you. Until you feel that quantum leap, keep going. Like Leonardo da Vinci, um, different books on quantum physics or multiverses or something like that. Just things that make you think, like theories and stuff like that. That'll get you on a frequency that you're looking for. And also help you understand the world and how other people thought even so long ago. Not very different from how people think today. Always choose someone or a book that challenges you in a way versus something that's easy and blah. But reading. You can honor whoever you want. So, for example, like I said, think of deities like celebrities. Don't y'all got t-shirts of like your favorite singer or from a concert? Don't you got like a ticket stub? Do you have like a picture online or in your Pinterest or something? It's literally the same thing. But back in the old days, they didn't have online pictures, they didn't have t-shirts, so they made statues. This is a new day. So think about all the iconography of ancient like statues and stuff as today's Pinterest board and t-shirts. Okay. If you like nostalgia and old stuff and antiques, yes, a lot of people collect statues and stuff like that. But never think about it as worshiping a deity. Just always think about it like that, because if you think about it, you don't want to get too caught up in deities that you forget about yourself and what you're here to do, you know? And a lot of people will give a deity their own credit when it was them the whole time, but they just needed a crutch because they didn't believe in themselves, you know? That's why a lot of people created a god, because they didn't believe in themselves. There had to be something else outside of them. And also due to, self-defeating thoughts. So if you are secure in yourself, if you know yourself, if you speak highly of yourself and to yourself, you'll understand that one day. But until then, I would say go towards deities that are more like you, or that are more like the person that you would like to become. Okay? Because we're all at different phases. Okay. How can I improve myself when I'm chronically ill? Get chronically well. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Focus on your health and healing, or don't focus on it at all and focus on something totally different so that you're not thinking about it all the time. What do you think about the Course in Miracles? I don't know if I've ever read that. I think I've heard of it, but I don't think I've ever read it. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Do you have advice for 18-year-old? Yes. Don't get pregnant. Stay in school. Get your money. Don't pay on no dates. Um, do what you want. You're young. Listen to your higher voice. All right. Oh, prime time, sprinkle, sprinkle. Hey, Ashera, you what? You asked to travel for the first time without trying to the place of manifest or unmanifest. How do I know this is on purpose? I've tried it and it hasn't happened ever since. Because it wasn't on purpose. Sprinkle, sprinkle. It just happened, right? So if it wasn't on purpose, then you already know it wasn't on purpose. Thank you, prime time, sprinkle, sprinkle. If it's not on purpose, if you can't control it, then you weren't lucid dreaming, you were astral traveling. So maybe if you could like figure it out. Lucid dreaming and astral travel are totally different. In lucid dreaming, you control your dreams, and how things happen in the dream. And would you ever consider doing a meet and greet? Not anytime soon. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Not anytime soon, because I don't really like promising people something when I know that it's not going to happen anytime soon. Have you read Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert? I've read parts of it, yes, but I haven't read the whole thing cover to cover. But very smart, lots of good information in that book. If you had to study regardless of wanting a business or job opportunities, what would you study? The occult. Because I would study the occult, period. Because that's what I studied in the beginning. I would study ancient history, like ancient civilizations and the occult. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Because that's where you're going to get a lot of information and a lot of knowledge that will lead you to self-actualization. Paranormal studies, the occult, ancient civilizations. That's what I'd study. What are the pros and cons of astral traveling, if there's any? I don't know. I don't know if there's any cons. unless you do it too much and run into some other energies that aren't beneficial. Mhm. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Do you need to work with anything at all for spells to work? No. Problem with the younger generation is they cannot concentrate longer than 10 minutes. um, I mean, I have my whole theory on why they're dumbing down the future generations. It's because they want to control them and they want like this. A lot of times you got to like wake up and realize what's being done, even if you're young. You got to see it for yourself and then change the script and improve upon it. How do you set intentions on oils? I got rose and raspberry. You can just set it like you can hold it in your hand and think about what you want to put the intentions into it. You can speak it into the oil, like open the top. You could, say what you got to say into the oil. You could put it on an altar, light a candle with the intention, sit there and like think about, meditate what you want the oil to do specifically. Um, some people already charge their oils if they sell them, but if you're making them, yeah. A lot of people put them on their altars, write a little thing with it, speak into it, light the candle, charge their oils. Um, sometimes they'll put them on top of like or near some crystals or whatever. Okay. How to manifest money without working for it. Um, Manifest ways for money to come to you without working. That's the fastest way. Because like if you don't have a job and you don't know nobody that has a lot of money or is going to give you money, or you don't have ways for money to come to you, how are you supposed to get it? So I would say think about that first, then manifest ways for money to come to you without working. That's also good and not harmful, because some people will say, oh, let me get some money without working. And then something bad happens and they get like, the money in a way that they never thought to get it. So I would say in a way that's harmful to nobody and that's not harmful to anybody. And what you're going to do is program your mind to get around people that have money, that have opportunities, that have stuff to give free or whatever. You're going to start surrounding yourself with probably wealthier people in wealthier areas, maybe, figuring out more stuff. Somebody said, how about lottery wins? I don't believe in playing the lottery. It's like, to me, it's lower. I don't know. Like some people will like do lottery stuff, but I don't believe in playing the lottery because it's a scam. I prefer just, figuring out how to get money and keep it coming in forever. Sprinkle, sprinkle. What time is it? I gotta go in a little while. Are you going to go live more? I'm trying to. Yes, I'm trying to go live more on this channel during the fall. My garden, my rose garden, and I have roses, gardenias, vervain, mint. That garden is doing really good. My vegetable garden got overtaken with weeds, but I'm gonna have the lawn man just pull it all up and start anew, see what he can salvage. But um, they're not like regular weeds. They're like these tall plants that like grow wild. So I don't think they're weeds. They're just like some really tall, nice plants, actually, but they overtook the gardens. I don't know what they are. So, I have two gardens. So one is doing well and thriving, and the other one is like, some berries started growing in there too. It's weird. I think some birds pooped in there and had some berry seeds. Now there's berries growing in there. That's some type of plant. I'm gonna go see what's in there because it's very interesting. Um, mm, 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 mm. Yeah, when it gets a little cooler, I'll probably get out there and start pulling the stuff out that don't belong in there. It's just been too hot this summer. It's is it sad when volunteers pop up in your garden and stuff your body needs? It is said when volunteers pop up in your garden is something your body needs. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know if that's poisonous, so I don't think so. I got to do my research. Do you think we can use our mind to overcome the scam of the lottery? It's been manifesting for years and I had to give it up. Honestly, I have a biased perspective of the lottery. It's just me. It's just my personal opinion. I believe that it's very low frequency to play the lottery because it's for poverty mind. The reason why I say that is because if you don't believe that you can get that much money from anywhere else, and because you don't believe in yourself enough to go get it, or think you can get it from others or whatever, it's poverty mind, and that's poor people rush to play the lottery because they want quick money fast. And that's not the proper way to think in order to even get money or keep money. So I don't like playing the lottery and I don't like promoting lottery spells and stuff like that because it's poverty line and it's the wrong frequency. The only like I don't mean to be rude, but like the only time I've ever seen people play the lottery is when they were desperate, poor, or like, just for fun and they don't really care if they win or not. But I just think it's a very poverty minded thing. Um, So I would grow out of that and start investing all that lottery money into something else. Like if you think about all the money that you spend on lottery tickets, you could have invested it in something more lucrative. You could have went to Sam's and bought a box of chips and tripled your money through a vending machine or just selling them at a little table at, a fair or something, or out of you know what I'm saying? So I always see that there's so many ways to make money. I don't even consider playing the lottery because you can flip stuff quick and get paid. You can go to the grocery store and buy sugar, coconut oil, lemon juice, you know, um, make sugar scrubs and sell that on Etsy and quadruple your money. You know, I don't believe in playing the lottery. I believe in getting this money to make money for you. I believe in doubling what you have and investing back into yourself. That's how you win the lottery of life. So you said, what about gambling? Desperation. It's giving desperate. Like gambling is like you're you're okay with losing because there's a chance you're gonna lose. I ain't okay with losing, man. So if I invest into myself and I triple and double my money, I'm gonna win. Period. I don't sign up for losing, and I don't sign up out of poverty mind to get quick money fast without knowing how to keep it and knowing how to earn it again. Because see, when you learn how to get money, you learn how to keep money and you learn how to earn it again and again and again and again and teach other people how to get it. You don't just say, "Oh, I don't know, I just won the lottery." Or you say, "Oh, I don't know, I just gambled." So I like to win in life. So I invest into myself. That's the best thing you can do. Invest in yourself. The amount of money that you're going to spend gambling or playing the lottery, invest back into yourself. Look, even if you just even if you just buy something. Let's say you're at the thrift store and you buy a shirt and you turn around and resell it on Poshmark for 3 times the money. You just got paid, you know, without having to gamble or waste money on a lottery ticket. hmm You said there are gambling shops. There are more gambling shops in impoverished areas compared to the affluent areas for a reason. Exactly. Because they know your hope is high and your desperation is high, and you're going to spend your whole paycheck because you're a poverty mind. And the truth of the day is the house will always win. The house always wins. That's how they stay in business. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So if you're going to gamble and if you're going to play the lottery, let it just be for fun, not for real. Don't put no real hope into that. I just say let it be for fun and invest money into yourself and get money to keep making money. You said why rich people are afraid of spending? I think a lot of people don't want to spend because they may spend more than they wanted to. And a lot of rich people don't spend unless they're earning that same amount of money back so that they're not losing anything, you know. So for example, if you go out and spend $2,000, if you didn't earn that already that same day, or if you're not going to earn that plus more the same exact day or more, you're losing money. So a lot of people are constantly thinking, am I losing money or am I gaining money? So if they've already spent their quota to where they're still gaining money, they don't want to cross over that line to start losing money. So that's why a lot of rich people are always busy because they're always finding new ways to make more money so they can spend more. And then after a while, the rich person's money will make money for them and they could do way less. So for example, let's say you make 2 million, 3 million, $4 million, right? And you invest some of that money and that money starts making money on top of itself. So every day you're earning thousands of dollars without even opening up a laptop, without even clocking in, without even doing anything except relaxing and chilling or whatever, whatever. So once you make money, then your money makes money. If your money can't make money, then you need to figure out how to get to that level. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Yes, the lottery should be cheap entertainment. Buy $1 ticket and use your imagination for a few days and think about what you'd buy. Exactly. Kabibi, Shaw. That's all the lottery is for fun. If you're taking it too seriously, that's not good. If you took other things more seriously, you probably wouldn't need the lottery. hmm If you listen deep to your own energy, you will never follow the wrong path. Okay, Jaja or haha. Not sure how you're pronouncing that. Yeah, that's true. Um, If you listen deep, yeah, I already read that one. Only use the like $1 million lottery tickets for using props and money manifesting. Yeah. How to see the world more in terms of energy, vibration, and frequency. Um, I would say pay attention to how you feel when you're around certain things, and that's how you start feeling the energy. So for example, if a person walks into the room and your energy changes because they walked into the room, that's a frequency and a vibrational change. um like when you go outside versus being inside, feels totally different. So observe what you're feeling, what you're thinking. That's a vibrational and frequency change. So once you start practicing that, just in different types of environments around different types of people, it's going to heighten your awareness even higher, so that you'll automatically know when someone's lying to you. You'll automatically know when something's not right, because you're practicing reading the frequencies and the vibrations around you, starting large with like nature, people, like their presence, and then you'll start to see the small things as well once you start with the big things. So you'll hear the inflection or the tone in someone's voice. You'll see, you'll just be able to see more. You'll be more in tune and more aware, and you know you'll know. Like I can always tell when people are lying, because I pay attention to a lot of different things, and so it just became natural observation. Okay. Thank you. Y'all, I'm trying to wear all my white before summer is over. I wore all white yesterday, the day before yesterday. I'm trying to wear this white shirt, trying to wear my all my white before Labor Day. Then I have to switch to cream. I literally just bought a white dress to wear this week. It's like really, really white. So I'm not really, I never used to look like wearing white, but I forced myself to start wearing it so that I would be less like more clean with like my makeup and my hands. So now I constantly like wash my hands, making sure there's nothing on my hands, like makeup, and I make sure that my makeup is not getting up my shirt when I take it on or take it off. So it also helps me be more aware and conscious of like when I eat, or if I brush up against something or whatever. So it just makes me feel more conscious of what I'm let touching me or what I'm touching. So thank you. But yes, when the fall arrives, I'll probably be doing more creams, browns, blacks, the fall tones, colors, and things like that. Why do you follow those guidelines about Labor Day? Because it's like for wearing like the only thing that I'll wear white after Labor Day is like a white button down shirt. I don't wear white shoes. I'll do creams, but not like, also fabrics. I don't wear like certain fabrics after when summer is over. So I just do that because I don't want to look out of place. Because when you get into a different, I guess, social circle, a lot of these people do follow those rules. And so you don't want to be looking like, you don't know what you're doing, or improper. You don't wear certain things after the summer is over. You need to be dressed in season. Okay. Like there are certain exceptions, yes. White button down shirts of like a thicker material, no linen, etc., etc. Any spells for strippers to be more seductive and receive thousands? Yes, girl, get you this hair cosmetics liquid finesse. It's pheromones. And there's also ones that on the website, it's linked in the description bar, wholecosmetics.com, spelled Heaux. You can use my code SHERA, one word, SHERA. And you spray this on before you go on the stage or wherever in your strip club. Roll on one of them other pheromones that make men lust after you and want to give you money and whatnot. You're gonna be getting all the money. It's called Secret Weapon. Y'all don't see that bottle? Secret Weapon. There's other ones too. There's smaller sizes if you don't want the big one. There's like purse sizes, roll-ons. So make sure you get that, and you're definitely gonna make more money. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You said you'd love to talk to me more about decoding art. Yes, I like to decode art. It's very fun. Can you buy on a website from UK? I'm sure you can. It's a whole website called wholecosmetics.com. I think they're based in LA, so they should be shipping overseas. I'm not sure. You could check. But definitely use my code to save money because, you know, they're kind of expensive, but it's very well worth it. I'm trying to tell you. It's hard for people to say no to you when you're wearing. Mm-hmm. Is the way you choose to make your money just a path for you to receive abundance when you match the right frequency? If you choose several ways to earn money, then you have several ways to attract it and receive abundance. So, several streams of income. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You said, you want to speak more feminine, but it feels fake. Well, that's because the version of yourself that you know does not speak feminine. So you have to get to know the new version of yourself that speaks feminine. So therefore, start to talk to yourself in your own feminine voice. Start to dress feminine while you're talking to yourself in your own feminine voice. And then it won't seem so fake, because I'm sure the voice in your head is your current voice that's maybe not feminine, or the way you speak. I'm not sure if it's your voice or the way you speak, but start talking to yourself in that voice in your mind and when you speak, and maybe that will help. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay, Kabibi, sprinkle, sprinkle. Yes, I like decoding art, so thank you. Check it out. He said, "Why are you following rules from a social circle?" I'm not following rules. I never wore white after Labor Day. That's just for living in the South, ma'am. But if you are in a social circle and they're from the South and they don't wear that white after Labor Day either, it's because it's like a Southern thing. We don't be doing all of that. There's like it's not rules. It's just class. You don't dress out of season. Like, don't dress out of season. Like, you're not going to wear a strapless sundress in the winter. It's kind of like that. It's on that level. You're not going to be wearing coconut scented, tropical scents when it's, you know, marshmallow and fireplace scent time. It's kind of like just adhere to the season. It also helps you adjust to the season actually better if you're not wearing the fabrics from summer, or like a lot of the colors from summer, and you're going more into the fall, and you're getting into the frequency and the vibration of those months, the colors, the changing leaves, all that kind of stuff. Kind of like an adjustment. So I feel like it's not really rules. I feel like it's just more a seasonal change. You're not going to be wearing, short shorts and tank tops in the winter. So it's just the same thing. Okay. You said, but linen is the highest vibrational material. Yeah, you can also wear wool if you don't want to wear linen. Wool also vibrates very high. So switch it out. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You said it's like eating fruits and veggies that are seasonal. That's true. And it's good to switch it up every season because you're not the same old, boring, typical, predictable person. If people see you wearing the same stuff you've been wearing all year long, it's like, okay, switch it up a little bit. Go with seasonal fashion, or adjust with other things if you don't want to do it through your fashion. Hmm. I have a whole section in my closet of white clothes that I won't be able to wear until spring or summer next year. But luckily, I live in Texas, so it starts when as soon as it starts getting hot, people start wearing white in February. Okay, in Texas because it's so hot. I'm like, okay, it's time. So we can wear it much longer than we can't wear it in the South. That's why when it's time to put it up, we put it up. So like we buy all these fall clothes that probably won't even be able to wear because it doesn't get super cold here. But we're excited about the fashion anyway. You said, how do you level up when other family is lower vibe? I want all of us to be leveled up. Okay. Well, you have to lead by example first and make other people want to follow you because you can't do it all at the same time if not everybody is motivated in the same time or the same way. It takes, you might have to be the first one or the one to do it and lead by example. And if you don't, then you don't. You don't always have to bring everybody with you. You know, you said it's summer all year in Dubai. Cool. Thank you for make your answer sound so simple. You're welcome. Okay. It's not bad. You're right. I could read it. It makes sense. There's people that speak English that have worse English than you, so don't worry about it. What version of the Bible did you decode? I don't know. It didn't matter to me because if there's more than one version, then it doesn't really matter, right? I think whatever version I had on hand, or sometimes I would use the um, online, and they would give you different versions or different scriptures from different versions of the Bible. So, well, I mean, the same scripture from different versions of the Bible. So I would look at maybe three different scriptures from three different versions, and sometimes the whole meaning would change based on the version. So that's how I know, like when you change the version, you're changing the meaning. So I decoded both of them or all of them that were listed there online. And basically you kind of come up with the same thing and let until the meaning is super changed in the translation. So I go by the one that's like um that makes the most sense, whichever version that would be. The one that's most beneficial. That's the one I'm going with. So well, it could be this one, it could be that one. It could change. But I don't take it as at face value. It's very metaphorical. Have you ever manifested a specific person? I don't know. I don't think about it. Mm, specific. I've never really tried to manifest a specific person, so I don't think so. Not a specific person. What are your tips for staying positive in between manifestation. I'm always positive. That's my tips, ma'am. Stay positive. You don't have to get positive. Surround yourself with positive things, positive people, fun things you like to do. Like, don't worry about what you're manifesting. If you do it, believe in yourself, and that should be enough positivity right there. So, for example, if I believe in myself and I know I'm powerful and I know I'm going to get what I manifest, whatever, I'm not, I'm going to stay positive. I'm always going to be positive because I know who I am. The reason why people don't stay positive is because they don't know who they are and they don't believe in themselves and they worry, which messes up the whole manifestation already. So, you got to believe in yourself first and foremost. Just like you have to say, I'm already perfect. I already have what I want. I already have everything. You know, it's more like starting from the finish line than the start line. If you know you already won, how would you feel? If you know you already got what you manifested, would that change how you feel after you manifest it? You got to get on that frequency and that belief and that mental. And then you won't even think about it. You'll just go on about your business until it manifests. Mm, You said is wearing a burgundy colored wig ghetto. It depends on if you're ghetto, I guess, because I've seen people with burgundy hair that's not ghetto, and it looks okay on them. But what you pairing with that wig, you know, what you got going on with the wig? What are you wearing? You know, how does your makeup look? How does your nails look? Well, how's the haircut? You know, you have baby hairs down to your eyebrows. What's going on with the wig? So it just all depends on what you looking like. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. It's less about the color and more about the style. Exactly. You said burgundy is perfect for fall or winter. Yeah, I feel like it's a really good color for like those colder months if you're gonna do some type of hair dye. But for me, like personally, if it's for one day and you can take it off, I think that's okay. But I don't want to be stuck with something that is not going to be beneficial to me on a day-to-day basis. That's all I'm gonna say. That's why I like wigs versus dyeing your hair, versus cutting your hair or installs. I prefer just snatch it on, snatch it off. Take it on, snatch it off. You know, when it's beneficial, when it's not, take it off. What's your opinion on bald woman? I like Doja Cat. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Doja Cat be looking cute with her bald head, but only certain women can pull that off. You got to have a good shaped head. And a lot of people, they shave their head to deter men's attention sometimes. They don't want to be bothered. Okay. So it all depends on why your head is shaved or bald. But I think, it just depends on why you're doing it. Mhm. Okay. Um, so this is more from my other channel, but compliments, if that's what you're seeking is compliments, then do what you got to do. Um, because I feel like if this is for like my other channel, compliments is not the same thing as getting bills paid, baby. So it just depends on what your motive is. What's your motive behind the hairstyle? Are you just looking for compliments? Are you looking for bills paid? So that's what I always tell people. You going for compliments or bills paid? All right then. Magical weight loss tips for spells. Um, Beauty spells. If your version of beauty is thinner, then a typical beauty spell should do the trick. Just envision what you want to look like. Okay. When you do the spell. You said drink green and black tea to suppress appetite. Okay. How do you remember to not react to the current reality? I got to go in like 5 minutes. I still find myself falling for the opposite that shows up and going back to persisting afterwards. Just do what you want to do, basically. Then you won't. Reality. Reacting to reality won't matter if you're already going to do what you're going to do anyway. So that's why standards are very important. When you have standards and you don't bend them for anybody, you're good. Oh, Miss Yuki, sprinkle, sprinkle. I did what you recommended to get what I want. I don't want him to, but super last minute, so I went to his room. Instead, I had to go, didn't put out. He got mad, emotionally shut down. Now what? On to the next. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I don't deal with people that aren't beneficial to me. Let me repeat that. If you want a successful life and you have people that are not beneficial to you, you gave a chance, they reacted in the wrong manner. Now they have to earn you back by acting right, or they lose the privilege of knowing you. That's literally it. They lose the privilege of knowing you, or they have to earn your forgiveness back. That's all that they can do. Anything else, I will not accept. Okay. So think of yourself like that. If they mess up, it's their loss. On to the next. So on to the next, ma'am. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Could you please do a video for men so they can understand why they should be providers? Because it's masculine. That should just be enough right there, because it's masculine. Uh-oh, Raquel, sprinkle, sprinkle. Tips on protection from frenemies, please. Get some new friends. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Don't consider them your friends. Don't tell them all your business. Treat them like an associate or an acquaintance. All right. I'll see y'all on the next one. Thank y'all, everybody who donated. I appreciate that. Keep your standards high. Manifest. Get my book. This was written a while back. This is old. So I think, let me see when this came out. This year. So 2021. This version of it anyway. Might have came out in 2020, but 2021. Thank y'all so much for supporting. Y'all get the book, Sprinkle Sprinkle. I appreciate it. It's linked at the top of the live comments and also in the description bar. But I have to go now, and I'll be on this channel more. I'm so sorry that I took so long to come back here. I'll be on it a lot more. So, and if y'all want to write me personally, join my Patreon, Decode with Ashera. That's what the name of it is. If you go on Patreon and look at it, become a member, and I think you have to sign up for the tier that allows you to write to me, or that I like in the messenger. So read the description of each tier before you join. All right. So I'll see y'all later.